Okay, take two. We recorded this podcast already.
Yep.
We recorded it. It was about 45 minutes long, but it's lost space and time now, so it'll never be heard, which is a shame because we like completely disclosed the secrets of the universe and told you how you get rich quick, and I think
Martin's
and
deepest, darkest secrets.
Oh yeah, it was so juicy, so like the greatest secrets ever. I think Endless told us what actually came first, the chicken or the egg, and actually went into in-depth detail. It was amazing. It was like the greatest thing ever heard, and unfortunately, it's lost to time and will never be repeated. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. Just, your deepest, darkest secrets were revealed, yada, yada. And we did talk about the main topic, which is, I guess, like, the new meta and the ever-changing meta. That's what I called it.
Yeah, the ever-changing meta of the game and how honestly, as we were talking about it in those 45 minutes, I actually felt really old because we were like, back when I was starting the game, things were harder. Now you kids have it easier. But like, it feels like I'm old because just the way we were saying it,
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Yeah, but so I guess we should start off by saying this is episode 2 of this podcast, or 2.5 if you want to call it that. But
yes,
we said this at the end, but it's probably best that we say it early. If you have a question or anything you want us to talk about, or anything really you want to hear,
a
or
topic
advice or
discussion,
yeah, or just advice, let us know in the comments, and let us know how long you want us to make these, although clearly for the time being they're gonna have to stay below 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the little glitchy spiral in the Sahjhan raid there.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost. It's the ghost of Uryu, because I think Uryu has this. There it is again. Look at it in all of its glory. But yeah, we talked about how really mainly because this is you going through all of the fusion trials with Sahjhan on auto by yourself.
Yeah, completely soloing them. He has a gold chappie with 30 attack, a regular chappie with 20 attack, and a captain's coach with 20 attack. So altogether he has 1,541 attack, plus, and it's 146% increase with
insane.
the HPUC. Yeah. Mostly I wanted to talk about, why this is even possible, for one character to auto solo all of Fusion Trials, and is that in fact a good or a bad thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, obviously you would think it's a good thing, but at the same time, the game has changed so much, and the events changed so much. They got harder with the boss rushes and the challenges, like the Soul Reaper challenge, the Captain challenge, or whatever. But the Fusion trial didn't really get harder. It got buffed. Like before, you would have to do 1,000,000 runs before you ever get a book. Oh, yeah. Now you get a book. They're still rare, but they're not nearly as bad as they were before.
It's not as bad, yeah. I remember doing 50 runs one time without a book, and I was just like, I'm quitting. Bye.
No lie, I thought the book was a myth. I remember at one point I'm not kidding you. I remember at one time I was looking at my inventory and I saw that I had one book, and I thought, oh, I must have gotten it through some sort of event, or they gave it away. But then I remembered, I remembered way after that my very first Fusion trial, and I didn't tell you this in the podcast that we lost, but my very first Fusion trial, I got a book. But for me, it was just kind of oh, okay, I guess this is.
It was
just
like a unicorn.
Yes, but because it was my very first Fusion trial, I just kind of brushed it off. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is a thing that happens. But then after a while, I thought, oh, maybe it just happens the first time you do it, or oh, maybe I was just imagining it, because it didn't happen again for months afterwards.
Yeah, that's very sad.
And if you guys were around before 6 stars, these Fusion trials, they used to be difficult. You used to have to be I really hope somebody doesn't disconnect, because otherwise, you're screwed. And now we have one character that's soloing all of it on auto, like no user input or anything, except for that special.
Yeah, like we mentioned this before in the other podcasts that got lost. But basically, I guess like a good solution to this would be to buff fusion trials, like give us another harder, like what is that thing called? Just a harder version of it.
Inheritance or
No, just
like a
a harder
level 120
version. Yeah, where, book and powder drops are increased as well because they're still pretty bad. Let's be real.
Yeah. And like they don't have to make it as difficult as like Inheritance Zone, but like maybe as difficult as a 5-star raid. See, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, just so one character couldn't solo it. I
Yeah.
feel like that's overkill. It's too much.
Because like here you lost like a lot of health, but most of it was like burn and poison damage. It
Yeah,
wasn't,
but as you can see, like the bosses are doing 1 damage to him right now.
yeah, and that's insane. It's
Yep.
insane. Like it's insane that the character got this strong, and the meta has changed so much. Because I remember, let me take a look at Sahjhan's stats at level 100 compared to everybody else's stats, like the OG character stats. Because like his attack at level 100 is 586 in comparison to the older characters. Like, let's say Genryusai, for comparison.
Oh boy. Oof.
Like red, like because I haven't pulled up here. It's 392. Chad was 395. Let me see. Even like Shinji 387, and Ikaku was 403. In fact, the best one I remember, the best one was Grimjow. Like the best 5-star to have was Grimjow.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was top in PvP. He had
His
the best
Nad
attack.
string.
Yes,
was
it was
amazing.
amazing. But like he was top in PvP, and the best part was like I remember thinking, "Oh wow, you know how when the loading screen happens and you see the character on there, they have it like it's sticky, like the bars are coming out of the
attack region, yeah. I know what you're talking about. In the hexagon.
Exactly in the I think it's a pentagon. It doesn't matter.
Is it a pentagon?
I think it's 5 sides, right? 5
Oh,
is
yeah,
pentagon.
My bad.
This has been math with Martin and Endless. But yeah, like it was coming out of that, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. This character has so much attack. It doesn't fit in the whole thing. It was 470. 470, whereas Sahjhan now has 586. And not only that, like Shunsui, the new Shunsui, has 486. An SP character has a higher attack than the highest attacking character in 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they have to keep up because you can't make a character this strong like Sahjhan and then have like the rest of the manga characters, let's say, be weaker. So I do understand the extra attack for Shunsui.
But that much extra? Like,
I
for
mean,
a character that isn't even... Or okay. Okay, yeah, here's another one. Well, second anniversary is also an exception. Okay. I was going to say, because second anniversary Ichigo has 471, and that's still 1 point higher than Grimjow was at the time. But still, these characters are like, obviously they're newer, but it just goes to show how much the game has changed. But certain aspects of the game, like the fusion trials, haven't changed difficulty.
not as much, yeah. Personally, I can't decide if it's the characters or it's in fact the link slots and the accessories that are making it this broken. Like especially with the gold chappies that came out, they kind of messed with everything.
That's true, and it is only 6% more, but that 6% makes a difference. But like at the same time,
it's more of like being able to link that gold chappy with a regular chappy.
oh, that's right, yeah, because then you
Yeah.
have an extra 36% that should not be. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And like but like we're taking a look at the Sahjhan character, the the runs that you're doing, and I mean you're an exception because you have 10 10 10.
Yes.
A lot of people do have this character at 10 10 10, but I would argue that the majority of people who pull them don't yet. You know, they have him. He's high up there probably, but they probably not 10 10 10. But that's probably. Do you think that's the reason he was able to auto it by itself, or do you think he'd be able to auto it without the 10 10 10?
You know, I think he could, but I would probably have to. I can't go full nat on him. I'd probably have to put a healing because he still has flurry and poise. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So. And the main thing is that he's a mind character, so he doesn't really have a weakness towards any of the attributes, which is lacking for, Broken, Noitora, and, Kendo.
Yeah, and I know some people would argue that, oh, yeah, he does have a weakness, it's heart, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about,
for PvE.
Damage-wise. Yeah.
Yeah, for PvE, you can't say heart is a weakness for him because the mobs that he's hitting do not have flurry. He has so much of an advantage, so you can't really say that.
He's always going to do at least average damage. He's never going to do less damage than his attack, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you pair up a Broken against tech characters, he's still going to do a lot of damage, but he's going to do less damage than normal.
Yeah, whereas and he will take more damage.
Yeah. And whereas this character, he's a double-edged sword because with heart, yeah, he takes more damage from them, but the damage that he inflicts is more. Yeah. So, and I do think that this character was meant to be, at first when we saw him, we were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be he's gonna break PvP. He's got poise and flurry and the highest attack with a Nad Link. We thought this guy was gonna break the game, and then he came out, and you're like, oh wow, most purples can one-shot him because most purples are SP characters.
Not most purples, just Gin, Yoruichi, Ryuken.
Tsukishima.
I killed Tsukishimas easily.
Do you? Oh man, I if I see this guy in PvP, I'll go after him with Tsukishima.
Okay, I'm like, I mean, you have to understand, my Sahjhan isn't like everyone else's Sahjhan because they don't have a gold chappy, they don't have Grimjow and Jashiro mind with DR,
Mm-hmm.
So Tsukishima is nothing. It's just Gin because he has Soul Reaper Killer. That does give him the advantage.
Does Gin have Soul Reaper? I thought it was a Hollow Killer, but I guess that makes sense. Well, Tsukishima has Captain Killer though.
Yeah, but still, he doesn't keep up. I have no problem with Tsukishimas. Yoruichis, sometimes if they paralyze me, I'm done. If they don't paralyze me, yes. If they don't paralyze me, then I can take care of them pretty easily. And Ryuken's, they just wreck everything, so.
Yeah, I haven't done PvP since Ryuken came out, and I'm not sure that I'm ready to be surprised. Honestly, there's a good chance I'm probably gonna summon in this banner.
I have not seen
JP.
any Ryukens in PvP.
Really?
Though, yeah, I think he was very rare, and the people who have him can't even use him properly or can't max him out. So I'm just like, no, give him to me. I will take care of him. But no,
that's great. It's I know you pulled him, but just figure out a way to transfer him to my account.
Yeah, just hand him over here. I will put him to good use.
I'm tempted to summon in this, but that would be my only 600 orbs in my JP, and I'm probably just gonna end up with 3 Kakus and a now.
You never know.
Somehow, and Hollow Eisen just for good measure. He'd be like, we know he's not in the filler, but here you go anyway.
Ugh.
Ah, man, I don't want him to ever be in a banner again. I'm so tired of him. He's actually going to be a rewind character, but first I need to do Toshiro first, Orange Toshiro, because I have him 5 out of 5. And his special is one of the best in the entire game.
To see.
Yeah. his special would be like his special is one of the best specials in the entire game. He has bombardment and debilitating freezing, and this one is 5 out of 5. So it's like it's crazy. So I'm really excited to do that, but it's so many resources that I have to do. I use a lot of resources for the videos.
Well, yeah, I mean, 6-starring maxing out a character isn't easy. Unless you know life the game like me, so. Just, so bad.
I need to start autoing this game in my pocket again at work like I used to. But yeah, what else did we talk about other than my juicy forbidden secrets? What else did we talk about in the one that got lost?
I mean, we talked about a lot of things, but it's just more of the topic, I guess. See, like, do you think it's a bad thing that he's able to do this? Sahjhan is able to solo all the fusion trials.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's kind of like I don't want to say wake-up call because Caleb is probably not going to watch this, but it's kind of like a wake-up call for me that it's just kind of like, oh, hey, look, we need a better fusion trial.
Yeah. A lot of people have been complaining about the drop rates still. I know they buffed it a little bit, but it's still not enough to me. It's kind of ridiculous to think that one person has to spend like 2 hours farming a mobile game to get a certain item they need. So.
I mean, it's way better now. It's way better now with auto that you can just auto farm because you don't have to be constantly focused there and everything. But it is still pretty bad. And I know they have they're doing the every now and then, and I think there's another one this month where they're doing a triple drop rate for these items,
which I love.
I do love that as well. I feel like last time was better than, or the very first time we did the triple drop rate on these, I had a lot better luck. Like I was getting 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever, and this time I'm still getting like 4.
Yeah.
I feel like this last time that it happened, I got nothing. I got really shafted on it. But who knows? Maybe they will add a harder difficulty. I know they add powers for inherited or extreme co-op as well, but it's not that much.
Let me play devil's advocate. I know there's certain older players, especially Tonberry, who hates the fact that you can auto fusion trials. So, but like, you see, even if I weren't autoing and if I were playing, I wouldn't even get hit if I were just playing my Sahjhan still soloing the fusion trials. So
I say, dodge around.
Yeah, I say Caleb gives us a harder fusion trials with better rates that maybe we can't auto. Or we can auto, but we would still have to manually play because it's harder.
Yeah, or like we can auto, but like for example, for fusion trials, I can bring in like this is a coin one. The one we're watching now is a coin one, but for like the green fusion trial, I can bring in a blue character and auto it just fine.
Yeah. So we need we need a buffed one with buffed drop rates.
Yeah. It shouldn't be. Yeah, I agree.
Because this is ridiculous. Like you need another character to start the room, So part of me is just kind of like, at least 2 people should be able to do this.
Or if there was like a single player component of fusion trials, I'd totally be down for that.
Oh yeah, I'd be autoing that all day. But I think co-op it's not just the whole like books and fusion trials. It's more of like people playing together, because this is a very like solo game, where you like you can solo the raids. Co-op is where like everyone just kind of comes together.
That's true.
And makes like teams. Yeah, it's the fun element of it, and I feel like autoing took that element out, because you just like literally make it public, have it set on auto, click one button, and you're done.
That's true. There's no more interaction.
Yeah, unless it's like extreme co-op, which is
Yeah, I do like doing extreme co-ops and like that. I do get frustrated when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna auto extreme co-op comes." I'm like, "No, you're gonna die." But then at the same time, I turn around and if it's a green extreme co-op, I'll use Nemu, which is like my go-to autoing character, and I'll auto it. I'll still be focused on it and like heal people when I need to.
Yeah, but you can't
like,
do that in third seat.
No, you're right. You can't.
Yeah, you're doing
seat.
seventh seat, but
Yeah.
maybe not as hard. You know, don't make it as hard as extreme co-op, but just not autoable and where people can, you know, still play together and have fun type of thing. I think
You hear that,
would be
Caleb?
nice.
Are you listening?
They say they watch our videos, which is a little creepy, but hopefully.
Is it? No, I thought it was cool when
Slightly.
I popped into the one of the stream and they're like, "Hey, Apocalypse!" Hey, I was like, "What?" It blew my mind.
I don't remember what YouTuber popped in, and Mark was like, "I watch you," or "We're watching you," and I'm like, "Oh my God, stalker!" I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm
funny.
joking, Mark. I'm joking.
If you're listening to this, Mark,
Yeah.
we're just kidding. But yeah, I guess the Sahjhan video ended. I for fear of us losing podcast number 2 a second time.
Yeah.
So we should wrap it up. But yeah, like we said earlier, if you have any questions or any suggestions or anything that isn't wanting to know my deepest darkest secrets, just let us know in the comments.
Just DM me, guys. No, I'm kidding.
What'd you say?
I said just DM me.
Oh no!
You know, 'cause-
don't
yeah.
tell them. No, you wouldn't dare. Okay, guys, that's it for us. If you have anything else to say, end this.
No, I guess conclusion is we like broken characters. Apparently, no one has a problem with them.
Yeah, we like broken characters. We just want harder raids, I think is the case.
Yeah, that would be a nice, you know, balance.
Yeah, that's bonus. All right, well, let us know what you think of this series, and it will probably continue whether you enjoy it or not. But the first one got good feedback anyway, so we're
Yeah.
going to continue it anyway. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, also, this is something we covered last time, but we didn't cover this time. We have no idea when these are going to come out. It's not like a weekly podcast kind of thing. It's like whenever
We're free. Yeah.
whenever we're free and we're both home, because that's really the only,
Things stopping us.
yeah.
Because we're both
So-
BBS nerds and we could talk about this for hours and hours.
In
I'm
fact,
sure
we
you don't.
have. This is currently
Yeah.
almost a 2-hour call where we've done 2 podcasts in it, but we have arguably talked about this. For
And it's
hours.
not even forced, you know, we just keep rambling.
Yeah, and honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that the audio or the video, the audio would be messed up if we kept going, we would totally keep going because the last one was twice this size. So
Yep.
yeah. Okay, we should really stop now before it's too late. All right, thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.